Hi, this is Tranisha Cottrell, and today I wanted to talk about Get It Together. So, I'm going to try to be as transparent as possible without making it seem as if I am weak or making it seem like I let things control my life more than God does. And that's not what it is at all. It's more that I'm human. So, let me give you a little scenario. And by the time this video comes up, the situation will be all over anyways. So the person probably doesn't watch these videos. It probably won't resonate with them because they'll think it could be anybody. So I don't think it will matter. But I feel like this will help someone because when I'm in moments like this, sometimes it feels like I'm all alone. And it really does, even though I have God, it really, and I'm all in one. That's what I mean by alone. But I mean it in a way to where it feels like I don't want to turn to anybody but God. Like I at the beginning I feel like I can't call, my family member or my friends because I don't want to burden them with what I'm feeling and like the pressure that I feel like I'm under or, all of the the way that I'm feeling like when I feel sad or when something upsets me or something like that. I don't want to make it seem as if I'm complaining or as if I can't handle it on my own. And so I never want to reach out to anybody. I never want to like talk to anybody or tell them how I'm actually feeling in that moment. So I try to handle it all on my own. And so the thing that really helps me is having God in my life and turning to him. So instead of turning to something that would weaken me or something that would be sinful or something that would hurt me in the long run, I turn to him and I seek him first before I seek anything else. I make sure that I put him at the forefront of my mind. And although it's hard, although I feel sad and upset and everything else, I know that everything will work out. And I'm not saying it like when I'm in that sad moment, I know everything will work out and I instantly feel better. It's a process that I have to work myself through. So I know people are gonna say this is ridiculous. I don't know you why you would say this, but so I had this scenario, and this is in the past, so I feel like it'll be fine to say it. And now that I'm growing and I'm becoming a better person and everything is totally different. It's not the way that it was. Sorry. Got my little mom mug. I made some tea because I'm always losing my voice in these videos. So I was hoping that the tea would help because it'll soothe me instead of making me feel as if I'm always constantly like losing my voice when I'm talking. And so in the past, I had this guy who I liked. And you know how it is, ladies, when you and I have to say it like this because I don't know if men get into situations like this because most of the time when I see men, they're so strong. So I had this guy that I really liked. And we'll see something that we like or someone that we like that we're attracted to, and regardless of how they feel, we just have we have these expectations, we have these things that we really truly want, and we want it so badly, and we just feel like, oh, it just doesn't make any sense for him not to want us. And so it like bruises our ego. It really makes us feel not good enough in the moment. And not that we should hang our beliefs of ourselves on any other person. That we should hang our beliefs on any other person. It's just that in that moment, it doesn't feel good. It feels horrible. It feels crappy. Let's just be honest. And I'm not going to sit here and try to pretend like I'm this perfect person that never has feelings again because I know God will work it out. Like, I still feel, sad when people hurt my feelings. I still feel happy when good things happen. I still feel every emotion. It's not that the emotions disappeared because I rededicated my life to God. It really is a continuous process. And I have to continuously remind myself that God got it. I have to continuously remind myself that everything's going to be okay. I have to continuously keep speaking life into myself because there's so many things that happen in my life and there's so many people that see me doing well or they see me doing okay and they think, well, let me just dump all of this stuff on her because she can handle it because she's smiling and because she's happy and because she seems like she's in a decent mood. but I'm in a decent mood because it's God. It's God. When you see me smiling and I look joyous, it's because regardless of what I've been through, God is going to be the constant in my life and He carries me through everything. It's not because I just got some magic wand and all of a sudden I made it happen, like, or I just, you know, genie in a bottle. Like, I didn't do any of that stuff. I literally just was obedient and I listened to what God tells me to do. And I try to make the best decisions that I can, especially when I'm in the darkest moments of my life. And it's not that I feel like, oh, I got this, I'm doing it on my own. It's really I have to seek God like so intentionally. And it's so easy to veer off. It's so easy to get distracted or to forget that God's going to work it out, especially when you're feeling sad. And God will always work it out. So, in my scenario, there's this guy that I really like, and okay. And I mean, can I really say liked? Was attracted to, because I don't know anything about this person really. I mean, I know a little bit. I knew enough information to know that this is the type of person that I would like, or that I would eventually start to like, or something. So, so this guy, he seems like he, has it all going on for him and everything else. I see him, and I'm instantly attracted to him. Not like in a oh my gosh, he's so gorgeous kind of way, but in a the way that he carried himself, the way that he spoke to people, his kindness, the way that he would do things for other people, his work ethic, the way that like he just the way that he carried himself was super attractive. And then it didn't hurt that he was also attractive, not like I'm trying to say that he was this person that was so attractive that it was like it made me drool or something and I just lost my mind. It literally was like we we seemed like we were on the same level of attractiveness, if that makes any sense. Because, I work hard and I try to stay focused on God and I try to stay positive and I'm constantly working on myself and I take care of my skin, my hair, my nails, stuff like that. So I felt like where we were was equivalent in our lives, but not in a I'm trying to put him on the same level as me or I'm trying to, anything like that. It was just one of those things. And so and we would like be in the same type of environments over and over again. And until like he did something really kind. I don't know if we ever met before that moment. We could have met like several times before and I just never noticed because when I tell you I'm so super focused and laser focused on the things that's going on in my life and my purpose and whatever else it is, I am so laser focused. I never notice anybody. I mean, I don't want to say never. I notice like my family and friends are there or something like that, and I'll say hi to them and speak to them. But if it's a random person, I might, I mean, I I don't know. I literally have like foggy eyes when I go places and I have intention about my life and there's things that I'm doing. So I don't ever notice people. I don't notice like every once in a while I'll be doing something and I'm super focused and I'll look up and then there'll be someone that's like attractive or something. And I'll be like, "Oh, that's an attractive person," and keep doing what I'm doing. But it's not like "Oh my gosh, this person is so attractive. Let me just completely stop my whole day to stare at some random stranger who doesn't even know that I exist." Like, I'm not about to do that, but I'm not saying that I don't notice things around me. I just sometimes it's just all a blur. And I literally am so focused on all of the things that I'm doing that I don't even realize this person exists at all. And so it's not like a down on that person or any other person in the world that noticed me that I just didn't notice or something. And if they notice me and they're interested, then they would have to actually make it known that they are interested in one way or another. It couldn't just be something where I saw them somewhere and I'm just supposed to assume that like it would actually have to be a thing where they are being brave enough to step forward and be intentional in one way or another like, "Hey, I saw you, thought you were," whatever the line is. I don't know, but I think that takes a lot of guts for a man to do that, and that is one of the most attractive things that a man can do. And so, sorry for the slurping. Oh my goodness. I'm one of those eaters and drinkers. I try to be like super classy when it comes to like drinking and stuff like that. I just forgot I was on camera at the moment. So that quickly. I didn't forget that I was doing the video, but I wasn't I wasn't being intentional enough to think about the fact that it will probably make a bunch of noise in the speaker when I was doing it. And so I just was like, normal life. Oh yeah, this is just me drinking my tea. Everybody on the video is like, okay, this is what you're doing. But yeah, so I see this person and after like the kind act that this person did, I was just like, wow, like it would be so incredible if I could be with a person like this because I have been with every single bad guy there is. Just kidding. I haven't been with every single one, but when I have dated in the past or I've been in a relationship, it's usually been with someone who's super mean or not a good person. And I don't mean like they might not have a good heart or something, but, or, they just are usually cruel. And I know that sounds like shocking, and you're like, what? Why would you even be attracted to someone that's cruel? I don't know. That was just the thing. I wasn't really attracted to it. I just felt like that was the best that was out there. And that was what I had to settle for, or that's what I deserved in my life because of the mistakes that I made. It wasn't that this person was just so attractive for being cruel. It just was like, it is what it is. And so I was just like, oh wow, it would be so cool to be with someone like and this is how Satan will try to get you. Not that I'm saying this person is from Satan or anything like that, but this is how Satan tries to distract you from your purpose because he will put something in front of you that he knows that you like, something that and I had just prayed. Like literally, I'm standing at the place that this person comes to and I'm feeling like, okay, I'm going through this healing process. I'm doing all of these things that I want to do to become better. This is like at the very beginning of my journey, not now. So it was a long time ago. I mean, a long time ago, but like 2 years, whatever, or a year and a half or so. Who knows? But a while ago. And so I'm sitting there and I'm praying and I'm asking God, you know, that he gives me the power of discernment so that I can make sure that the next person that comes into my life is all about him. I want to make sure that we are equally yoked in our religion and someone who would be something that like I want to be attracted to him in one way or another, like whether it's by an action or by looks or whatever else. Legit. 30 minutes to an hour later, this guy shows up at this place randomly. Never seen him before. I mean, I could have met him before, or he could have been around somewhere before, and I just never noticed because, like I said, I always focused on certain things. And back when I was first getting out of my toxic relationship, I never looked up. I always looked down at the ground when I was walking around. I know it sounds silly, but I always looked at the ground because I didn't want to be distracted or someone to think that I was like attracted to their boyfriend or wanted their boyfriend or something like that or some guy to think that I was trying to hit on him because I was just looking around. And so I was like so self-conscious of it that I always looked down when I was going everywhere. I never would have even noticed if a guy was interested because I literally always looked like this when I was walking everywhere. And I'd be walking, looking at the sidewalk and walking, looking at the sign for where I'm going or something like that. But I never really looked around, like looked at anything, like looked around in my environment. I just could see like the trees or I could see the store or something like that. But never noticed, never would have noticed. And so if he was like interested in some way before then, I would have never known. Unless like God would have like literally had me trip over something and fall and he helped me up or something. Like I would have never even seen him. Or like he just ended up being at the place and volunteering for something that I was at. Like that was the only way I would have ever been able to see him. And so he's there. I see him the first time and then my daughter didn't want me to date anybody. So I didn't want to prematurely date or go out with anybody because I wanted to make sure that I was healing too. I wanted to make sure that I was doing the things that I needed to do in my life, and I wasn't getting distracted by anything. I wanted to make sure that I was intentional and in my purpose and doing all of the things that God intended for me to do. I didn't want any person to come in and derail my healing process, or to make me have to start over, or make me feel a certain type of way when I was still healing. And so, like, I could see him, but I was just like, okay, I still have things, I have work that I need to do on myself. I have work that I need to do to be intentional with my life before I can even think about anything like this. And then it just felt like you can call it Satan or you can call it God. I don't know what it is. And I don't know. I don't know. But the next thing you know, a few weeks later, I see the person again, or no, a few months later, I see the person again. And then a week or two later, I see the person again. And then a few weeks later, I see the person again. And then a few months later, I see the person again. And then the next thing you know, there's something else going on and he ends up being there. And then the next thing you know, he ends up being at another place. And then after like the seventh or eighth time, I'm just like, okay, like seriously. I mean, you could stop with this now. This is ridiculous. Why is this happening? And so, I was just like, okay, obviously this guy is totally not interested in me, because if he was, after 8 times, he probably would have said something or done something, right? I don't know. I mean, like, how long are you going to wait before you actually make a move? And so it's funny because I have a friend that was at one of the things that I was at where he was, and I had said something, and I was just like, oh, yeah, he's nice, and, he's all of these things that I thought that he was. And I just thought that he was like a really decent guy, and he just seemed like a good person, which I'm not used to. And so, so I was like, you know, yeah, I think, he's really cool. And my friend asked me something like, oh, would you consider like dating him or something like that? And I'm like, I mean, he would have to ask me out first because he hasn't done anything like besides like some random small talk. Like, he's obviously not interested. And so I don't know what my friend did or whatever else, but apparently I think she might have said something to him. And so he knew that I was interested, which is the worst position I could ever put myself in, because I didn't want to ever be the type of person that's making somebody like me, or making someone try to get with me, or being desperate and making it seem like I really had to have this person, and it put me in a really vulnerable position, because then it's like he had all the power, because he already knew I was interested, and there's no way I would have ever known that he would be interested at all. So I just felt really insecure about the whole situation, because I felt like I manipulated it to happen. Like, it wasn't something that God intended to happen, because if it was God, maybe he would have said something before. Maybe God told him to wait. I don't know. But so he does. He asks for my number. He gets my number. We, start talking or whatever else. And he just, I never feel like he's really interested the whole time. Like, I don't know if it's just me because of all the stuff that I've been through or what, but I just didn't feel it. I didn't feel like he was. I could tell that I was interested in him, and I could tell that he liked me, but I don't think he was that into me, if that makes any sense. And it wasn't just oh, I just feel like he's not that into me. Oh, well, move on with your life. It was like it really kind of crushed my spirit a little bit, because I felt like I was healed, but I really wasn't healed. And I had to exchange some stuff with one of my exes before we could really meet up or anything like that. And so I'm exchanging, I'm having this conversation with the ex 2 days before I meet up with this person, and I feel I feel the worst I've ever felt. Like at the beginning of my healing stage is how I felt in that moment, because I was letting go of the old me, and it was like the end of everything. It wasn't the end because it was already over way before then, but it just made me feel a certain type of way, and it made me feel weak. It made me feel vulnerable. It made me feel insecure, and it made me feel, I don't know how to describe it, but I just felt horrible. And one of my family members came over while I was like really upset and was there with me until I literally fell asleep. But and I'm only sharing this because I want people to know that when you see me smiling on here, when you see me doing normal stuff or trying to help other women and things like that, I do have normal stuff that I go through. It's not just that I'm so confident and so secure that I always feel this way and no one ever hurts me. Like when people say things to me, sometimes it does hurt my feelings. It's not just that I'm so strong, nothing ever affects me. Like I really do have feelings like every normal human being. And I don't think that we need to set this precedent for people that they need to be a robot or some kind of mechanical organism. Like they're human beings with feelings and emotions, and we need to start treating them like that. Just because they appear strong doesn't mean that you need to try to break them. It means that you should still be kind and leading with love, regardless of who it is. When you have a strong friend, check on your strong friends for real because they're the ones that are struggling the most. They just put on a brave face. And I'm telling you from experience because the the trials and tribulations and storms that I have to go through behind the scenes when I'm not on these videos, when I'm in real life, when people really are hurting my feelings, is not it's not like a happy thing. It really is hard and it's only God's strength that sees me through it. Would I like to have people check up on me and check in with me and really say, "Hey, how are you doing? How are you feeling?" Yes, and I do go to counseling and things like that, and it's still hard. Even with counseling, even with God, it's still hard. But God didn't say it was going to be easy. He said that I had to put in that work. And that means emotionally, spiritually, physically, every area of my being, I have to be willing to put in that work to get receive these blessings. And so I just I I would have people around me say, "Oh, it's just because of this or it's just because of that." He's obviously interested because he, asked for your number. But anyone can ask for anyone's number. That doesn't mean that they're interested because they asked for your number. And so I just it the way that it started off just made me feel insecure from the beginning all the way until whenever. Like I never felt secure enough to, and I know it sounds weird because you barely know this person. And besides a few conversations, it's not like you guys had anything at all. It's just a connection. And so it's so weird because I just put like this weird pressure on myself. Like every time he would text or, I'd call or something like that, or we'd go, meet somewhere or something else, I would feel insecure every single time. I would feel, you can call it Satan, you can call it insecurity, you can call it negative self talk, whatever you want to call it. I could feel it every single time we talked, saying, he's not interested in you. He's just not into you. Because if he was into you, then he wouldn't have had to have someone else ask you, I mean, tell him that you're interested and to ask for your number. He would have asked for your number in the first place. If he was really interested, he would be putting forth some sort of effort. And then I know it's like a long story, but a real short story. I'm just venting in between. Not really venting, but I'm trying to make it relatable and I'm trying to make it transparent enough to where when people watch it, they will see my mindset. They'll see where I was. They'll see the state of my being, and they'll see that because I made it through, that they can make it through as well, and that even though it seems like I'm this person that just spreads positivity, I am a person who believes in spreading positivity and speaking life into the people around me. And that also means that I'm a human being, that I also go through normal things, and so if I'm going through it and I can make it through, you can as well. And it could be something as small as the issue that I'm dealing with, or it could be something as big as, something tragic or something else that happened in your life. You can make it through everything with God. And so I don't want you to ever feel like whatever you're going through is so small that you can't take it to God, because you really can. He will work everything out for your in your favor. And it's not I need to say this because some people have this unrealistic expectation that because God's working it out in your favor, that means that you get exactly what you want. That does not mean that at all. It means that you will get exactly what God desired for your life. And because you're seeking him, it'll be what you want as well. God is only looking out for your best. He has the best of intentions. It's not that he's just some mean kid who just wants to see you suffer. He's taking you through those things so that you can become stronger on the other end. He's moving things out of your life because they're no good for you. He's making people move out of the way so that you can be in your purpose, so that you won't be distracted. Anything that comes before God is going to be removed regardless. So if you feel like the attachment that you have to something or someone is so strong that it's overpowering God, expected to leave your life, because he's not going to allow anything to come before him. And so I always felt that way the whole time. It's and it's not something that he did in particular. Like, I don't want to just put it on the guy and make it seem like he just was this guy who, just whatever. Like, he did the things that he was supposed to do. I just didn't do what I was supposed to do, because I could hear that little voice in my head saying, you don't deserve this. You deserve way worse than this. This guy obviously isn't interested because someone else asked him to ask for your number. Or this guy obviously isn't interested because, yeah, he talked to you, here and there, but he's not talking to you consistently. Or he's not doing this. Or he's not doing that. Or you're, I just kept feeling like I'm not good enough. Just being real. And I mean, take it however you need to take it. But I'm here to help people. I'm not here to pretend like I'm this perfect person that doesn't feel real emotions, that doesn't, have standards that sometimes I feel like I want to break them, even though I know that I can't. I'm still a human. I'm still a person who desires human connection. I'm still a person who desires to have certain things in my life. And it's not that it makes me a weak person, it just makes me human. And so I think we really need to acknowledge that in ourselves. And a thing that I did was I let one one or two things slide that I would have never let slide, because of the way that I was feeling and because of the way that everything happened. And I really wish that I would have just let God handle it from the beginning, or it would have been more organic, because then I would have known that he was really interested, and then it wouldn't have made me feel so insecure. And and I wouldn't have been doubting myself, because I would have felt like, okay, you know. And when I say this, please don't judge me and be like, "Oh, why are you worried about this one person when you get hit on every time you go somewhere?" We're not talking about that in this moment. It doesn't matter how many people hit on me. It matters who's about that life. And so, and I have to share this because I want to make sure that people who go through this know that it's going to be okay. Because you're going to do everything wrong in your life sometimes. Sometimes you're going to do things that are wrong. You're going to make mistakes. It's just going to happen because that's life. You're not going to be perfect. And I hope you understand that. There will be games that people will play. People will try to, push your bounds and, make you lower your standards because they want to see how far they can go. And you sometimes won't stick to your standards. I talk about standards in almost every video. I do. And I do believe in having standards so that you can constantly believe in yourself and stay encouraged and motivated and inspired, and not feel like you're dishonoring yourself or God because you feel like you know better than him. The standards are there to protect you. It's not there because it's like something that can just be changed, that, when someone looks good enough or is kind enough, you can just go ahead and lower your standards for them. It's not there for that. It's there to protect you so that you don't end up feeling insecure, so that you don't end up getting used, so that you don't end up settling for less than what you want for your life and God intended for your life. Every time you lower your standards, you're allowing someone else to tell you who you are when you should already know who you are. And I'm not beating up on you. I've been there. I'm just I'm telling you what I wish I would have been thinking from the beginning. When I when that little voice in my head was trying to tell me I don't deserve anything better, I should have been going for better, regardless of what the voice was saying. And and I don't mean it like in a crazy way. I really mean it like, you know how you have your consciousness that's telling you something is right or wrong. That's what I was feeling. And I could just feel all of the insults. I could feel the bullying. I could feel the toxic relationship just coming to the forefront of my mind in the beginning of that. And I could feel Satan say, like, have these little things happen in my life, like, that made me feel like, okay, well, is this God or is this the adversary? Because sometimes it's really hard to tell. And I couldn't tell if Satan heard my prayers and just brought someone into my life to distract me, or if God really was trying to show me, hey, this is a good human being who, I want to show you that good people actually do exist. Like, I don't know. Or whatever else would happen in the future. I just I just felt it was so hard to discern because I was so doubtful the entire time. And it's not that I was doubtful of the person, I was just doubtful of myself being able to pick, being able to to make a good decision about something like that when I've always made the wrong decision. Being able to discern when something was God or Satan, being able to stick to my standards and have boundaries and things that I wanted for my life, and not allow any other person's perspective to make me lower my standards because this is what they settle for. Sometimes we'll have friends or people in our life that really mean the best, but because they settle for something like that doesn't mean that's something that you need to settle for. Your standards are going to be totally different because you're two different people. So when I just I got all in my head. I pushed away this person because I really just felt like, why would God send me someone when I've been a mess? And even though I'm a good person now and I do the right thing for the most part, like, why would He ever feel like one of the first people I meet is supposed to be someone that I connect with that in that way, when all of these other women are single for 5, 10, 15, 20 years? It just didn't seem fair for me to be able to receive something like that if it really was a blessing. And so I just the whole time just I constantly just I don't know. I That's why I'm always saying in the videos, when God blesses you with something, receive it. Don't just be like, oh, no, God, I can't receive this blessing. Like, no, just go ahead and accept it because He's giving it to you because He feels like you deserve it. He's not giving it to you because He wants to punish you, or because because He's just giving out blessings because He feels like it. Like, of course, God can give out blessings at any moment. I just mean that we really have to stop pretending like we know what God's plan is and what He intends for our life, or what He intends to give us or not give us or take away, or people that He enters into our life and people that He takes away from our life. It's just all His choice. It's not our choice. And and so after, like, working on my purpose and doing a bunch of other things, eventually, we reconnect after I've, like, pushed him away. And and I know you're probably thinking, well, after you push them away, he probably takes that as rejection and now he's just going to be out to get you, or you're going to turn him into a bad guy. Maybe I did. And so, but I can't harp on those things because it'll just make me beat myself up even more and feel even more guilty and be exactly where Satan wants me to be. And I don't want to live my life like that. And so then we got to this moment where we're like, okay, now that I feel like I have a moment to breathe, it would be, this is what I was thinking. This is what I was going through. This is why I did this. And the person seemed receptive and seemed like they understood where I was coming from for the most part. And they said that they wanted to meet up and that they would try to reach out. And when people say try, it usually means they're not going to, or they might. It's just like a one of those things like blowing in the wind. You just never know which way it's gonna go. Something like that. But so I was listening to this video then, and on the video the guy says something like, you'll know when someone's interested in you. And it really hit me to my core because, I already was insecure about the whole situation anyways, and I already felt a certain type of way because of how everything happened in the beginning and how everything started and the mindset that I was in and everything else. And so he said something like, yeah, he'll be like reaching out to you every day, and you will be able to tell that he's interested. It won't just be like you'll have to guess or ask other people because you'll obviously know that he's interested. And I don't know what it was, but it's like at that moment I heard what he said, and I was just like, he's never been interested the whole time. Like he might have liked me as a person. He might think that I'm an alright individual, whatever else, but he's obviously not that into me. And it was a little heartbreaking in the moment. And I know you're probably saying heartbroken and you barely know this person, but it wasn't just, this person per se. It's just like every person I meet. And I'm not saying this because I'm trying to make people turn people into cynics and just always constantly looking for a negative thing and feeling like there's no hope. I don't want anyone to feel like that. It's just that every person that I meet is either a not I don't want to say not a good person, but has no direction or really tries me in the worst ways or is not interested. Every single person. I said that with emphasis, and you could feel where my spirit was in that. Yes. And so and so it just made me think about like the toxic relationship, and it made me think about this guy, and it made me think about all those other guys, and it just made me really feel like ish, like crap, like nothing. I mean, I won't say nothing. I felt like a person, but it just didn't feel good at all. The moment the person on the video said, "Yeah, you'll know when he's interested because he'll be reaching out to you every day," and I just thought of he's totally not interested. This has been like a long time of being interested in this person who is totally not that into me at all, and and it did not feel good. It didn't. I wanna I could sit here and pretend, put on a brave face and pretend like I really didn't care at all. Everything was all good, whatever it is, what it is, blah, all the other cliche sayings and girl, blah, 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 blah. Like I can go ahead and pretend rah, rah, this and that, do all of this talking. But in reality, it did not feel good. It didn't at all. I mean, it felt necessary to hear it because I think that you need the truth in order to move on in your life and to continue on the journey that you're headed towards. And you can't just live in a lie. And then also me being focused on this other person could have blocked someone who God really truly did intend to be in my life. And because I was so focused on this person, there was there was this other person who was totally interested in the beginning that I didn't even notice. And it's not because this person did anything wrong or anything like that. I just never notice anything around me for some reason. Like I'm trying to get better at it and realize things, but now it's too late for that person. Like that person's long gone. But it's so sad, but it is what it is. And I mean, the person was really trying to put forth an effort and everything, and I just in my head, I don't know where this insecurity comes from with these men, but it's so crazy. Like when I'm not with anybody, when I'm not focused on talking to anybody or getting to know anybody, when I am by myself, when I am out in the world just enjoying my life, I literally have no care in the world. I don't care about, I mean, not, I don't care about anything. I care about people's well beings. I care about my life. I care about things like that. It's just, I feel like I have nothing holding me back. I feel joy. I feel peace. I feel happiness. I just feel like there's no burden on my shoulders. Like there's so much peace in my life, and I have the space to be myself. I don't have to try to be something I'm not. I don't have to try to, do something that someone else wants me to do. I can totally be authentically, unapologetically me without trying to become something for anyone else or put on a performance for anyone else or pretend like I'm something for anyone else. Like I can wear my hair however I want to wear it because I like my hair in every single style that I wear it because I chose that style. Sometimes, like when I look at my hairstyle, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna change it tomorrow. But for the most part, like when I straighten my hair, I like the way that my hair looks straight. When I wash my hair and I detangle my hair and I do like a wash and go. I love the way my hair looks in a wash and go, even though it looks short. When I wear my hair in a high ponytail, I love the way my bone structure looks when I wear a high ponytail. When I wear braids, I love that they're so easy and I can literally just put my hair in a ball, down, half up, half down, in a ponytail in the back, side ponytail, two ponytails, whatever. And I can do that for 2 to 3 weeks and I'm good to go. I don't have to worry about if the guy is going to be like, oh, I can't stand women who are natural, or oh my goodness, she's a girl who wears her hair straight, so she's not a Nubian queen or whatever. Like, I want to make sure that, I mean, I love myself in all stages, and I don't know where this seeking reassurance from other people kind of thing comes from at all. Like, and I only feel that way when someone's interested who I'm actually interested in. That's it. That's the only time I feel like that. I start to feel like completely insecure out of nowhere. And it's not that they're doing anything in particular that makes me feel a certain type of way. It's not that, and I'm saying this and I'm divulging this, and this will probably be used against me, and that's fine. And hopefully in the future, I won't act like this. But in the past, this is what I did. So you can't change the past. All I can do is keep moving forward and try to be better. So that's what I'm going to do. And so, so I just, when I'm by myself, I feel so peaceful, so one with myself. I feel all in one. I feel alone all in one. I feel strongest in my relationship with God. I feel powerful. I feel motivated. I feel focused. I feel like I'm walking in my purpose. I feel like nothing can stop me. And when people come up to me that talk to me that I'm not interested in, or people come up to me and say, hey, hey, beautiful, or hey, how you doing, or whatever else, it's just like, oh, okay, that's nice that they're saying that. Like, I didn't notice they were even there, but it's nice that they're saying that. And it does feel good when people say that, but it's not that I'm looking for that from other people. It's just that I feel content with where I am. And it's just like so much pressure when I put so much unnecessary pressure on myself when people are actually interested in myself. It's like, it's crazy. And hopefully I won't be like that in the future. But in the past, that's how I was. And I don't know if it had to do with the things that I've been through or because of that long term relationship. It's just something. But when I felt that emotion after the person said, if the person's interested, they will be trying to contact you every day and you will be able to tell that they're interested. It really made me feel like horrible in that moment. I want to I want to say I want to say that, oh yeah, it's no big deal, blah, whatever. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I was all good in that moment. I literally felt devastated in a way. Like, mm, do I want to say devastated? Because it didn't like rock my whole world, but it really made me feel like crap in that moment. I don't know any better way to explain it besides feeling like crap. And I know I say that all the time when I when I'm in my moments, and my when I'm in my mood, when I'm in my mood. And so I'm sitting there and I just really feel like crap in that moment, like really stupid. And this is just me being real, really stupid in the moment because it's like, you know better than this. You have been working way too hard to allow this one thing to break you, or allow this one thing to change your perspective about yourself, or allow someone to come in and make you lower your standards, or like give them a pass once or twice, or allow them to bend your boundaries, or to come in and out of your life, or to be sporadic and not inconsistent. And I just felt so disappointed in myself in that moment for not just facing the music and letting go of my ego, because not everybody is going to want you. And it's going to be okay. And it's not like I have trouble meeting people and I don't know there's 3 million men in the US, and there is, a portion of those men that are single. It's not that I don't know that. It's not that it's not like that I don't know that one person is not the end all be all or anything like that, or that I had this stock in this person and just really thought this person was going to be everything. Like God is my everything. It's not that I thought that at all. It's just it didn't feel good in the moment. It felt really crappy. It felt like, I'm gonna just be real right here. Maybe I can't be that real. Maybe I can't be super real, but it really makes you feel like, what is wrong with me? That not only can I ruin a horrible relationship, but I can also prevent any person who's a decent human being from actually being able to talk to me. And I know it sounds crazy. And, when you get in your feelings, this is how you really talk to yourself. And we really have to get out of that. We really have to start doing things that build us back up. And if you pray about it, when you're sad, when you're feeling like crap, when you're feeling down and out, whatever is going on in your life, pray. Ask God for guidance. Thank God for things. Start thanking Him for everything. Thank Him for the house, the car, the shoes, the clothes, the hair, the body, the health, the skin, the teeth, the being able to speak, talk, see, smell, hear, and having all of your limbs if you have all your limbs, having one limb if you have one limb, whatever it is, being able to walk, being able to talk, being able to run, being able to speak, whatever it is that you get to do, thank God for everything, the blood flowing in your veins, the the power of your tongue, the voice fluctuation, whatever it is, the heart that you've been given, the lungs that have developed after all of the stress that you put on them when you were eating unhealthy, and then you started exercising because your doctor told you that your lungs were looked like a smoker's lungs, when you really felt like you didn't know if there was going to be a way for your lungs to produce more oxygen as they had before when you stopped exercising. Like, think of things like that really make you put things into perspective and appreciate the life that you've been given. And once you do that, because sometimes, I'm gonna be honest with you, that does not do it. You need more. And you done prayed. God is right there with you. You know God is right there with you. You feel so crappy in this moment. You just feel like ish. Like, if I cursed, I would have said a curse word right there. But you feel like ish right now. Like, I mean, if if you could describe the lowest form of something in your life, that's how you feel in that very moment. And people, glide right over it and they're like, oh yeah, you just move on to the next person. Oh yeah, it's no big deal, blah blah blah. And they talk a good big game while they're not in the situation and their heart's not in it. And they don't really care about the situation because it's not affecting them, because they're in their own relationship, or because they are married, or whatever else it is. But they're not you. You're the only person dealing with this emotion right now. So you can't worry about what other people are doing, or how they're saying their sayings, or whatever else. They feel like they're trying to help you, but it is not helpful when people say that to you. It really isn't. You have to be the person that picks yourself back up. Nobody else can do that for you because they don't know how you're feeling in that moment. And so we need to be real with ourselves and acknowledge that we are the ones who are going to have to speak life into ourselves. We are the ones who are going to have to call on the name of God. We're going to be the ones that have to pray and really get it together on our own. We can't reach out to someone else for them to tell us something that we want to hear, because someone saying something that you want to hear is not everything. It's not it's not going to help you. It's only going to give you a temporary feel. And I know I say temporary feels a lot, but there's a lot of things in this world that we can use to fill us up just for a moment. And that's all it's going to do. And so, as I sat in my moment and feeling like crap, and I prayed to God, and it's good to hear the truth and to know the truth. And it does suck hearing the truth, but it's also for my benefit because I can't stay in a position that I'm not supposed to be in. I mean, you just can't. You can try to live there. Like in a moment, I was like, I just want to lay here and not move and not do anything. I just don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to do anything. I want to be in this one moment like a statue laying here. And then I realized, girl, you got things to do. You can't be laying here. And I prayed to God, and slowly but surely I started getting up. And God said, do something that brings you joy. And I did. I went on my walk, or that clears your mind and brings you joy. I did. I went on my walk. I put on some Christian music, some gospel music, and I mean, I put it up high. I'm, I'm surprised my ears didn't pop or anything, but I had that music on blast. Like, you don't even understand. I was talking to God, I was walking, I was listening to the music. Little by little, each step that I took brought me closer to getting out of the fog, to not feeling horrible like I felt a minute before. And as I walked, every step that I took, I could feel God guiding my footsteps. Like, come on, you got to keep pushing forward. You have things to do in this life. You have too much to do. You have too many people that are looking to you. Too many people who are expecting you to help pull them through. Too many people who are leaning on you. You have too much that you have to accomplish in this life, and you can't give up now because of one person. You can't. You can't allow one person to change your perspective on you. And I went down to the beach, to my happy place. I'm gonna call it that because that's where I have the most peace. It's where, no matter what's going on in my life, when I'm there looking out at the water, when I can hear the waves, when I can see the birds flying around and hear the birds, and I can feel the wind in my hair, or I can feel the wind around my body, it just feels so calming and so peaceful. And I put on this song. Well, a song comes on, and I didn't know that song was coming on, but it was like every word of that song was exactly what I needed to hear in that moment. Every single word. It's like God heard my prayer and was like, I'm here with you. I told you I wasn't going to leave you, and you didn't have to do it alone this time. And He meant it. And so I looked out and never would have made it. I know, I know. Never would have made it by, I think it's Marvin Sapp came on. I think, no, it was Best of Me by Marvin Sapp, I think. And as the words are playing in the song, I feel like my eyes tear up a little bit. Like, I cry a lot. It's just what I do. Like, I don't cry in front of my family or around my friends or, around my daughter. When you see me tear up on these videos, usually I'm in a whole different room shooting videos, or, or like if I'm somewhere far away from other people, I might tear up or something, or, you might see some tears. And usually it's because of inspiration or something like that, or, I'm just in a moment. It's not usually because, I want to cry in front of people. Like, I'm just not that type of person that likes to cry in front of people like that. If I gotta suck it up until I can't breathe, like, I'm gonna do whatever I can to hold in that tear. But on these videos, I just get so emotional because I'm really passionate and I'm really talking about real life stuff, and sometimes it's hormonal. But For the most part, yeah, that's what's going on. So literally, tears start to form in my eyes, and I remember how good God is and all of the things that He's not all of the things He's brought me through, but I start to remember how good God is. And while I'm in that moment, I'm looking out on the water and I see the sun above me, and the leaves are starting to change and stuff because it's fall, and I'm just I'm just feeling at peace in that moment. And I do some I don't want to say meditation. I do some stuff that I used to do in college that that really relaxed my muscles and relaxed me. And not in that way. It doesn't have to do with anything like that. It just has to do with breathing. And so I'm breathing in and out, kind of like a meditation style or whatever. And I'm relaxing my body, my mind, and I'm really being focused on God, just focusing on Him and His goodness. And God's like, it's time to go home. And and I take one look out on the water, and then I walk back home and I play Hold On as I'm walking home, and I have this song on repeat. So it comes on as I'm walking from the beach, and then as I walk home, it comes on two times before I make it home. So I'm listening, and when I get home, I put on a sermon by Pastor Mike Jr. It's called God Is or something like that. And while I'm listening to the sermon, he goes and he starts talking about how, you know, in the Bible, whoever it was, I can't remember any of the stories because I was in my mind and I was really thinking about a whole bunch of different things at that moment while I was getting ready to take my shower. And I'm thinking about just what is it that's really making me feel this way? Why is it that I'm feeling like so down about this at this moment when it's not like this is the only person in the world. It's not like this is this person can tell me who I am, if that makes any sense. And I could hear him preaching about God and God getting David out of this thing, and him being able to pull him through whatever it was that he was going through. And he didn't just save him once, but he saved him several times. And when he said he didn't just save him once, he saved him several times, something in me, it's like it broke off a chain or something. I don't know how to describe it, but it just felt like I was releasing something within me. And the more I was sitting there in my head, the more I started to speak life into myself. And the first thing I said to myself was, "Get it together, girl." And I just had to laugh at myself because I said it out loud. And the next thing you know, he said something like, "We need to start thanking God for who he is," or something like that. And I said, "Thank you, God." And I literally shouted it. I know it sounds a little extra, but I did, and it worked. And so, so I shouted, and the next thing you know, something inside me, it lit this fire under me like I've never felt before. It was like all of a sudden I just started speaking life into myself. I was just like, you can't allow this one person, and not to get on this person, but you can't allow any person, and this is in general, to ever, who doesn't know what direction they're headed, to tell you where God is taking you in your life. You can never allow someone to come in and try to lower you to their standards. You can never allow someone to come into your life to make you feel like you're inadequate or you're not enough when God already said that you're enough. You can't allow any person to come into your life and to use your life as a swinging door that goes in and out. You can't allow any person to come into your life to make you feel unworthy of what God intended for your life. You can't allow any person to come into your life to tell you who they think that you should be when God already told you who you were. You can't allow all of the work, all of the hurt, all of the tragedy, all of the things that you went through in your life for this one small thing to break you. You can't allow all of the work that you put in to go out of the window because of one person's opinion or what one person thinks about you. You can't allow their opinion to become you. You can't allow anything that is standing in your way to stop you. And nothing will be able to stop you because God is right there with you. You did not go through all of this to stop now and then cause generations to come and other women to feel like it's impossible to make it through these things. You made it through these things for a reason. And God is telling you that everything that you are and everything that you have been through is going to be used for His glory to inspire and help other women. And you can't do that if you allow one person to manipulate your mind into making you think that your purpose is purposeless, making you think that the position that I put you in is not purposeful, making you think that you're anything less than what I created you to be. You can never allow any person to come into your life and become bigger than me. You can never allow, not that that happened with this person, but in general. And you can never allow for someone to come in and try to make you feel like you have any reason to be insecure when I'm your security. And then I spoke again. Get it together, girl. All of the things you've been through, all of the women who are surrounding you who are saying that your story encouraged me, all of the people who look up to me, the people who have been changing their life because of me, all of the people who come up to me and say things like, "Oh my gosh, I went through this, and because you've been through it, because you're doing it, it's making me feel like I can do it too." All the women who try to do a copy paste of my life because they feel like it should be easy. It's not easy. People, and then in the sermon, right at the right moment, the pastor says something like, people want your life, but they don't want what you've been through to get it. And it's so true. When people see my life, they see me smiling. They see the things that I've been through. I'm not going to divulge this because it will, people that know me that might watch this video will know who this person is, and I don't ever want to put that person in this position. But people will say, or try to copy paste my life and not just use it as inspiration. I don't mind people using it as inspiration. I don't mind helping people. I don't mind changing generational curses, breaking chains. I don't mind doing any of the things that I have to do that God intended me to do to speak life into the people around me, to encourage them and motivate them to do better in their life. What I do mind is when someone will see me joyous and happy and they'll feel like, let me just do exactly the same things that she's doing, when God never instructed them to do that. That's not what I'm telling people to do. I don't ever want someone to go and do the same things that I'm doing expecting the same result, because we're two different human beings and our journey is completely different. They they will see what it is that you have in your life, what it is that you're doing, and they want what you want, but they don't want the journey that you had to get through to get it. Not a lot of people are going to want to have someone who's supposed to be someone who they're supposed to trust in their life walk away from them when they're a little kid. No, you see me smiling, but you don't want to have someone leave your life that you were supposed to trust that just walks out of your life. They don't want to have someone take advantage of them when they're a kid. They don't want to have childhood trauma that I did. They don't want to have to go and fight off someone like I did. They don't want to go through a 15-year long relationship and be a toxic relationship like I did. They don't want to have to go through the tears and the trials and the tribulations and the storms and all of the things that I constantly and continuously battle with every single day. But they want my life. You want it because it looks easy, but it is not easy. I know I say that sometimes in these videos, but I mean it. It really takes real work and dedication. It really takes me constantly being intentional with my life, constantly seeking God first above everything else. And you have to be willing to do that in order to get this. You can't just, it's not going to just be handed to you. It's not something that God just said, "Oh, you look like a nice lady. Let me give you this." No, everything that I've been through, God used for His glory. I went through it to make me stronger. And because I went through those things, it allowed me to be the person that I am, because I went to seek God, not because I was seeking myself, because I wanted reassurance, because I needed someone else in my life, or because I felt like I needed to be something that I'm not. I received this because I'm exactly who God intended me to be. Because the strength that I've been given from all of the things that I went through in my past, all of the childhood trauma, everything that I've been through is exactly what God uses to give me my smile. It's exactly what He uses to give me the power, the strength that I have to keep pushing forward. Every time you hear the passion in my voice, it's not because I'm passionate because I just want to be a person that seems passionate. I'm passionate because I feel it deep down in my soul, because everything that I've been through is making me a witness. It's giving me my testimony. It's allowing me to give God all the glory and praise that He deserves. It's not because I got this man that just makes me the person that I'm supposed to be. It's not because I got this job that makes me the person that I'm supposed to be. It's not because of the house or the cars or the shoes or the clothes or the hair or anything. It's because God. It's all God. Everything that I am is God. And because of that, that's why He continues to bless me. That's why you continue to see me glow and smile. It has absolutely nothing to do with a material object or another human being. And I know I got a little passionate there, but and I just want you to realize that no matter how small something is that happens to you, when you feel your spirit start to dissipate, when you feel like someone dims your light, or you feel like someone hurts your feelings, or something doesn't happen exactly the way that you wanted it to happen in your life and it hurts you, when someone hurts your feelings, when things don't turn out the way that you expected, just know that it's going to be all right. And in conclusion, get it together, because you can do anything with God. All you have to do is seek Him first, and He will take you the rest of the way.